Many in hip-hop have went for the crown of not being just the most talented, but the richest. Some would fall, some would burn out, while others still contend. There was one from Marcy Projects that obtained not only the respect, but all the riches one could dream of, almost even comparable to fictional characters. But what happens when one uses swindling tactics and schemes to catapult himself at the expense of others?
Lip gloss and Chinese slippers on.
All at the direction of a book.
I know everyone's tricks just by reading that dumb book.
This is the story of not just a regular rapper, but one who actually rose to the top of the industry, maneuvering like it's the Hunger Games.
I think at that time, Jay was definitely, may have been trying to swindle me.
While ascending to heights some could only dream of by making decisions one could only imagine. Making himself the target of some of the most extravagant lies.
I did withdraw my case. It's for a reason, y'all.
And told me to stop it, stop it.
A whole bunch of folks turned against him, accusing him of selling out.
While also portraying the voice of one.
I think we've passed kneeling.
Introducing hip-hop to a new form of lies, placing power over pride.
But the thing is, I never seen him get backlash at all. And now he getting backlash. Like,
this is Jay-Z, the corporate cap of hip-hop.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm being honest. Getting a Jay-Z call is not all cracked up to be.
Born in Brooklyn, Marcy Projects, Sean Carter arrived to a gritty area of New York where hip-hop had gained momentum and was entering one of the greatest eras of hip-hop, the mixtape era. Connecting with a mentor stationed in the same neighborhood as Sean, he will begin to learn the ins and outs of the industry from Jaz-O, a man many would try to say Sean patterned his early brand after. From the name, the flow, even down to the street stories. When a young Sean Carter ended up shooting his own brother, it was Jaz-O he would console in.
So at one point, I guess Jay-Z pulled out a gun and ended up shooting his brother, I guess in the office.
So
it was your gun.
Yeah. They say because his brother was stealing weight from him. So we don't have to assume Sean came from a neighborhood Drake probably couldn't stomach. Through word of mouth, he will be introduced to a Harlem label owner, Dame Dash, and Kareem Biggs Burke, where they would make Jay-Z a partner and build one of hip-hop's greatest labels, Roc-A-Fella. This is when Sean Carter would become Jay-Z. He would arrive in an industry drowned in beef, with one of his colleagues' competitors, B.I.G., giving up the ghost from a notorious East Coast versus West Coast beef. Before and after Biggs' death, Jigga's name will be dragged in. After penning some tracks for Dr. Dre, a known rival of Suge, he was told that his visitation to the West Coast will be protected, only to find out quite the opposite. He didn't check in.
I think Jay-Z is, he does what he do what he do.
Right.
But, I mean, which is some good stuff, you know.
Have you ever met him?
I never met him. The only thing I knew about Jay-Z that he came to L.A. a few times, and Dre and Snoop and Dre told him that when you're on the West Coast, you wrote a song for me, don't worry about nothing. Next thing I know, he was taped up, robbed, and gagged. But
who, Jay?
Yeah, Jay.
Out in L.A.?
Out in L.A.
Never mentioned was who was possibly behind this kidnapping.
But, you know,
who was responsible for that?
Who knows? But you know the thing about it, I think Jay-Z's a great guy because he's created what he do. And right. I do like Jay-Z.
A little-known rivalry Jay-Z had at the time, which would become his first on-track diss, would be towards San Diego's own J.O. Felony.
And the only J I know is logo. J-A-Y-O for show, F-E-L-O-N-Y-C-E. Then Doc, he be
holding the cleaners. J.O., you're not a felon, you're a misdemeanor. Don't let the Nina hit you and split your beaner.
This wasn't the only artist on the West Jay-Z went at it with. One well-known is when Tupac, not only on Machiavelli's 7 Day Theory, but also on posthumous tracks, attacked Jay-Z in full form.
Fuck Jay-Z, he broke and I smoked dead.
Machiavelli's verbal assault on Mob Slickers. Jay-Z from Hawaiian Sophie fame.
But what is not as known is when Jay-Z responded to Tupac on a track, Dead or Alive.
See a nigga this ain't nothing new. Understand what is how I retaliate. Wish to find who I am for me. Hollering shit from 89, Hawaiian Sophie.
Or another unreleased track he even once performed during an Apollo appearance with DJ Clark Kent. who basically said Tupac wouldn't have recovered from this track.
Jay did a record going at Pac, but right as it was about to come out, son died. We performed it though.
Yeah? Where'd you perform it?
Performed it once, and you have to understand, like, the chip on Jay's shoulder is so crazy that it's just like he had to perform it. We was at the Apollo.
Wow.
He was at the Apollo and he performed it, and it was scathing. Like, crowds was like, oh! If he was alive, there would have been no coming back. Like, nothing.
Like going into like super ugly territory?
No, this was so tough.
Till this day, the kidnapping has never been confirmed outside of Suge Knight's comments. Whether or not this was Cap wouldn't have had any effect on Jay-Z, who was determined to have his name at the top. His shot at this was equipped with fast-paced, Jaz-O type flow, laced with top-tier street tale that only Tony Montana could contest.
Lost 92 bricks, had to fall back.
Tales that later on people will call cap on.
I mean, y'all know Jay-Z. And my street sense says, if Jay-Z's selling dope, they're whooping his ass every day and taking his cocaine.
Some would say he was just playing to people's fantasies. Nevertheless, he will begin to challenge any name mentioned as top tier in New York City with a tactic he will become known for, subliminals. Mastered by his colleague Biggie Smalls, who made a habit of using the method to frustrate opponents.
Dangerous you're not, I gets down, twist your body round and round, upside down.
Using key words to imply disrespect while also reserving the ability to deny who the diss was about. Jigga was definitely familiar with this tactic, being that he was once the subject of Biggs.
Shot you, like you were saying, like the second verse he made was trying to impress you when Biggie added that to that song.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. But again, it was that, this friendly competition, like just trying to push each other.
Using subliminals at top New York rappers, including one who was revered by the entire industry at the time, Nas Escobar. Jigga, from the beginning, would treat his music like dope, utilizing popular lines and quotes from other rappers, then add his 2 cents. Lyrically stepping on product. He had reached out to the Queen's MC for a collab. This after Jay-Z had used the artist's voice as a sample twice already.
Right. Stop,
Nas would decline this collab, which caused Jay-Z to fuck his chick.
Because you know who, yeah, you know what, but you know who. Yeah. Just keep that between me and you. Yeah.
All this while issuing out subs to not just Nas, but Prodigy of Mobb Deep, Mace, and even Big Pun. Breaking the underground street level of rap, transitioning to mainstream, where he would use New York's famous Summer Jam as a platform to wage war on 2 in particular.
Back in 88, you was a ballerina. I got the picture, I seen you.
Prodigy and Nas.
Nas, you don't want to wait home.
Jay-Z's legendary concert would even include an appearance for Michael Jackson. And let's ignore the fact Hov's diss track Takeover all the way to the album title The Blueprint he took from KRS-One.
One, you put out a record, and then Jay-Z puts out one. That's honor, that's respect, because you call yourself the teacher.
Right.
If I put out the first Blueprint, and then Jay-Z decides to name his next 3 albums.
Of course, this would lead to one of hip-hop's premier matchups. You can find a more in-depth breakdown in the video essay I did over a year ago. For now, let's just say Jay-Z would suffer a brutal loss while being called out for stealing Jaz-O's name.
Sean Carter to Jay-Z, damn you on Jazz.
Lying about his background and capping about being on big skill level.
How much of Biggie's rhymes is gonna come out your fat lips?
So when you step over like a line and you say stuff like,
Damaged, but not dead, Jay will pull one of his biggest cap moves, claiming that he felt he was too disrespectful in his reply to the devastating track, Ether.
Left condoms on your baby seat.
You tell a man to suck your, or sucking lips, like you know, like when you say things like that, Roc-A-Fella and things like that, you stepped over a line. Like you have to be prepared.
Rockwell campaign in Arizona with Freeway. I think he was there. I land, and this dumb shit is on the radio, and we took a L because he got in this man's emotions.
Just know it was a chess move that was shadow a bigger story of where Jay's career was on its way to, corporate. And if you listen to his lyrics, he told you how it's done.
Actually believe half of what you see, none of what you hear, even if it's spat by me.
You see, all this time while this was going on, Jay-Z had another plan he was unraveling that would not only redeem him from one of rap's most embarrassing defeats, but also make him the boss over a fray of his enemies. Following laws you can pull out of a book.
Just see if I'm the real deal.
While those around him were thinking more control of community, Jay was thinking more control of an entire empire. They were doing business with a man privy to guidelines from an industry book, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Law 23 would change his life. Concentrate your forces to gain power. You must focus everything on one decisive point, even if it means sacrificing smaller assets to win the larger war. And the name of this sacrifice was the man who helped place him in his current position, Dame Dash.
And go get Leo!
Who may have put himself in the perfect place to be this sacrifice.
Tell me about Summer Jam 2009.
Crazy. It's live, we the champions, you heard
Michael
it.
Jackson!
With both going in different directions.
We always been polar opposites, you know what I'm saying? But when people see us drifting apart or doing different things like that, it leads to like talking, and then that just grows and it grows. And
but not without Jay-Z himself performing a pattern of precise cap moves.
Has he made decisions that you disagreed with and vice versa?
Absolutely.
Like
I mean,
what?
that's
Like-
just part of being in the business.
Which business decisions did he make that you wasn't?
See, and then we going back to violating that trust. I wouldn't do that. But,
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
absolutely.
I thought it was all eyes on Jay-Z. My bad.
He would exact this move with the highly known backdoor deal made with Lyra Cohen, where he would obtain Dame's portion of Roc-A-Fella. In return, he would sell it to Def Jam for millions more, while also securing the executive position on one of the most successful record labels in rap history.
And when there's hope.
This move alone was Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Do me one small favor before we continue. Please apply pressure to that subscribe button. This move would not only impact Dipset, but a litany of other artists, many whom Jay-Z had prior disputes with, rather petty or significant.
I had to get a phone off of that jam.
Two of the biggest voices against this move were DMX
I turned them records, that job down 10 years ago.
and LL Cool J.
Like,
What happened, man? You was over there for years.
Well, yeah, nigga, they were lip glossing and Chinese slippers on. Going, oh, I didn't hit out, man. Like, money, you playing with a real nigga shit right now. So, you know what I mean? I ain't got time for that, yo.
What's your relationship with Jay-Z? You know what I mean? Did that shit get affected by you not leaving a label or whatever?
Somewhat, you know what I'm saying? Somewhat, you know what I'm saying?
He had the dog speaking in code, though everyone knew what was up.
You know, when he first got the job, he hit me with the call like, yo, dog, it makes us run to the building like, yo, you good? Finish the album, shoot the video. What happened? Go on vacation and, you know, we don't know. What you mean you don't know?
Things got to the point LL Cool J almost lost his top.
A lot of talk in the street saying you going that hole, man. As far as me going that homeboy, look, my bottom line, my job is simple. I need my records promoted.
He did it. Jay-Z put himself on a path and became what most rappers at the time was only capping about, on a pace to become rap's first billionaire. Something even Big once rapped about.
As my pilot, stay as my lair. Yes, my dear, shit's official.
This is when Jay-Z would slowly transition back to Sean Carter and take on a new form of cap that was corporate, using law number 7 from the 48 Laws of Power that state, let others do the work and you take the credit. Jay built himself with the help of legends, that being Big, Jaz-O, Nas, and even Dame, then made himself the final boss.
And then you pop up on the label with him. I'm not even going to ask a pointed question, just whatever you feel like saying about that situation, how it came about, how you feel about it.
And what happened was it scared a lot of rappers. That's why you see a lot of them it scared them because they thought like, yo, if these two get together and they really write rhymes, but it's not like that. We're not trying to stop nobody's money. We're just trying to show an example.
Being Nas's boss when he was signed to Def Jam, then having a Jay-Z release conflict with his, the rest of his career.
Do you think Jay-Z releases projects on your album, release dates on purpose?
No, I think maybe there's an energy that we both have where we feel like.
They said Stillmatic came out December 18th. They said Jay released Unplugged. Then they said Street Disciple November 30th. Then Collision Course. Nas's greatest hits, American Gangster. Nasir, Everything Is Love.
Yo, bro, that's a hell of that's some coincidence.
I don't think he's the #1 MC.
Like it or not, for the majority of his career, Jay-Z's lyrical ability was compared to the best.
Wayne the best, he do the most, and he make the most money.
Yeah.
I don't think no nigga in the business make more money than us.
But one thing that you couldn't call Cap on was money.
You know, being lyrical is just a matter of opinion. It's who you like. So, you know, that's his opinion. As far as money, I mean, you know, that's a little more factual.
Other artists would call foul, yelling Jay-Z was cutting corners. Cam, a now disgruntled former employee.
Police are still looking for the suspect. Cameron says the hijacker definitely was after him, but he said proudly tonight he got nothing.
Cam was not silent about tactics being used by Hov. He would move this battle to the booth and release one of the lesser known but devastating disses against Jay-Z. It was these songs where he would detail all of Jay-Z's swindling moves, from upscaling his bars using others.
I don't think he wrote nothing, ever. You like Mark McGuire on steroids, man. You hit a whole bunch of home runs and you on steroids. You don't write shit.
I'm a fighter.
When it comes to the system, ain't no telling when I fuck I diss them. That's what these hoes yelling. I'm a pimp by blood.
When I'm in the system, ain't no telling when I'm fucking will I diss them. That's what they be yelling. I'm a pimp by blood.
To his wicked ways of business.
First, Roc-A-Fella from Dane. Second, you stole Kanye from Dane. Third,
I don't know, you tell me, but it sounded like Cam was snitching.
I seen the nigga throw that diamond up before them shots was fired.
With the whole Roc-A-Fella thing, when he was like, yo, I seen that rock sign go up when the shots went off, like that kind of like, I was like, huh? Like, that was weird.
When I play Rico, niggas say you snitch. They confusing movies with real life.
But Jay-Z would use the situation to send a message.
But like I said, no, it doesn't warrant a response from me. I mean, now though, you know, I just like to leave that possibility out there.
Only time you went black, my chain was on your neck. That's an actual fact.
I just like to leave that possibility out there.
So I'm praying that it spills outside of the booth. That's when y'all niggas outside of your truth. Niggas throwing rock signs outside of your coop.
Even his subliminals would hit harder. He would run a victory lap maybe never seen in rap. Having Nas signed to a label he ran, Cam ran off of major labels on to independent. A long list of others waiting on a response from Hov. Up until 50 came, he may have been the most sought after beef-wise. But then again, 50 was competing with him as well.
I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 cents?
One of the thirstiest would be The Game, the Bap of Bompton.
Because you used to say you don't take shots at legends.
Man, that was the young me, but I was dumb then. You know what I'm saying? I've wisened up. Now I'm smart. Now the thing to do is take shots at legends.
You 38 and you still rapping. You playing the bang, I'm playing the bang too. You playing the games, I'm seeing the thing through. You saying my name to entertain your crew. I ain't playing no games, shit exchange through. You playing the game, you know you ain't gonna win. Quit playing them childish games with grown men. I don't give a fuck about cars or chrome rims. I got apartments you can put your home in. Can I live? Good road his way out the hood, and I pray that I stay out for good. But any day you know a nigga could try to play like he should. Then I gotta play like Dutch, shoot you past the Dutchie, I blast you, trust me. Can't fuck with me.
Jay-Z would call it how it was to him.
The game.
I like the game. The game is changing all the time, and you know I've been dominating the game forever.
Okay, I respect that. But let's go into the game. The artist.
Oh.
You mentioned his name on the freestyle and the concert.
Well, okay, now tell me exactly what I said.
Okay, I might.
No. Tell me exactly what I said.
A rapper from Compton just begging for attention, like a groupie.
Oh, you hurt my feelings.
Exactly.
Tell groupie to get over it.
After becoming the boss of his enemies, richest in the game, married to one of the baddest icons in black pop culture, leaving everything he gained from Roc-A-Fella behind except Bleak and Kanye. Sean Carter became the fabled Tony Montana tale the industry coveted. He made it through a door no rapper made it through before. He was certain to try to close the door sealed behind him. Being accused of being an informant and placing halt to a move by other black label owners to create a union for rappers.
Damon Dash, Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince. These four gentlemen that got together gonna put up $30 million apiece.
Contemplating doing the first black-owned distribution company.
Whatever the recording funds, 10% goes to the union. Shortly after that, the feds raided me.
There was Jay-Z and Puff that went to those New York corner to let them know what Suge Knight was trying to do. They told Jay, if you help us get rid of Dame, we're gonna make you the president of Def Jam.
That's Law 15. Crush your enemies totally. Carter's position was set. No matter who called any type of cap on the self-proclaimed God MC didn't matter because he was popping caps of champagne bottles. So much, he started his own liquor company. Because his next set of moves would make him one of the richest black men in history of not only hip-hop, but American history. To everyone's surprise, the corporate cap was just the beginning.
40 Laws of Power, like they tell stories.
First of all, the 40 Laws of Power is a cheater's book. Let me tell you this. In every body's office in the music business, it's the 48 Laws of Power.
Your boy Hove was running with the big dogs, and boy did they have some things in store for him. Sean became a partial owner of the New Jersey Nets to become the face of the organization, with the plan of relocating the Nets to Brooklyn, awarding him 1% ownership to become the anchor, which he was able to do.
I asked for two things out of my partners in ownership, is that we name the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, and the second one is that I open it with the concerts.
But on the other hand, rent increased sky high, as well as thousands of Fort Greene residents were relocated. Literally, there goes the neighborhood.
I don't think that somebody who uses the word gentrify in the context that Jay-Z has used it understands that gentrification is the process of pushing black folks out that come from slavery and Jim Crow, replacing them with white folks that are basically cups of capital so that white businesses come in that didn't come in when black people lived there.
Around this time in 2010, in a Pennsylvania court, Wanda Satterthwaite filed a lawsuit requesting a paternity test naming Jay-Z and another man, Robert Graves, as possible fathers. Graves was excluded as the father via a DNA test, the small spark that would soon become a torch. Hove would level up, acquiring the Norwegian music streaming service Aspiro for $56.5 million, labeling it an artist's first streaming service, naming it Tidal, making sure to keep it culture, being called out online for maintaining an all-white staff. There goes all that black talk. But things really started to go south with Tidal's image.
During the St. Pablo tour, Kanye used the stage as his pulpit and Jay-Z as his target.
Kanye West is making headlines again, this time for going on a rant during his concert in Sacramento.
He wasn't just ranting, he was unraveling.
See, call me, bro. You still ain't called me.
Ye bounced from Tidal, Jay's streaming platform, claiming he was owed over $3 million, bonuses and reimbursements after the life of Pablo brought in waves of new subs. Interestingly, during this period, Reddit threads also highlighted accusations that Tidal may have artificially inflated streaming numbers for both Kanye West and Beyonce.
Maybe the industry's first bot claims. Ironically enough, Jay will become the sacrifice similar to Dame. When he launched D'Ussé in 2012, he placed his heart and soul in the cognac, years after convincing the industry not to drink Cristal's racist liquor. He now would manufacture his own with Bacardi. Years later, Jay-Z and Bacardi would end up in one of those billionaire beefs where nobody disses on wax. They argue through attorneys.
Jay-Z, I know you dead killers.
Jay claimed Bacardi was lowballing the value of D'Ussé, basically saying the company was trying to finesse the God MC on his own creation. Bacardi fired back with corporate math and boardroom confidence. And after months of back and forth, the mutual agreement came down. Translation, Bacardi walked away with majority control of a company Sean personally built. For the average person, $750 million is nothing to laugh at, but for billionaires, it would be a loss, with Bacardi netting $1.7 billion for a product they didn't even start. Also in 2014, the woman, Wanda Satterthwaite's son, Ramir, got older, and people began to compare his looks to that of a young Sean Carter. Ramir refiled the paternity case claiming Jay-Z used fraudulent information to avoid taking a DNA test. What makes this a big deal is the woman's age at the time of claimed encounter. And yet, none of the stories would overtake Hov's biggest corporate story yet.
It's a level of success where it's a door. There's a door that you could walk in.
Through the years, Jay-Z would turn Roc-A-Fella, now rebranded as Roc Nation, into a corporate entertainment powerhouse, moving into professional sports representation, representing athletes such as LaMelo Ball, Gabe Davis, and Saquon Barkley.
He was at a point where he began to move like Stringer Bell from The Wire, but the results would be quite different.
Well, get on with it, motherfucker.
At the time, the league was in a PR nightmare,
with Colin Kaepernick, who refused to stand for the national anthem in protest to nationwide police brutality.
But there was an article today, it was reported, that NFL owners don't want to pick him up because they don't want to get a nasty tweet from Donald Trump. Do you believe that?
Colin's stance on police brutality would not only gain traction among other players in the league, but also among some celebrities, one including Jay-Z, Sean Carter, who went on Saturday Night Live wearing a Kaepernick jersey in a bold message toward the NFL.
I said no to the Super Bowl. You need me, I don't need you.
I think if a team decides that Colin Kaepernick or any other player can help their team win, that's what they'll do. They want to win. They make those decisions individually in the best interest of their club.
In a move to fix this situation, the NFL sought to change the league image in an effort to calm the nerves of a sport made up of mostly black players. The Super Bowl became an immediate target.
We've spent a great deal of time, not only with our international committee, but internally with our staff, just in the last few weeks, talking about some very exciting ideas, not just around a regular season game, but using media and using partnerships to expand our game. I believe that's moving very quickly.
The league contacted So-So Def founder Jermaine Dupri to possibly oversee the NFL's halftime shows. Jay-Z already positioned himself as a fierce opponent of the league. This would have a huge influence on Jermaine Dupri, who ended up turning down the job in a move of solidarity with his longtime friend, Jay-Z,
who of course was on Law 3, concealing his intentions. Suddenly, Sean Carter was a director of entertainment for the NFL.
Jay-Z's entertainment company, Roc Nation, inking a new deal to make the rap superstar the league's live music entertainment strategist.
But wait, there's more.
Jermaine would be just a pawn in the situation. The real knight that needed to be removed would be Colin.
Jay-Z would immediately begin his next tactic to turn Colin into the antagonist.
Yeah, so he's currently doing action items, right? That's his version of action item. This is our version of the action item. We all do different things and we all work differently for the same results. I don't knock what he's doing and hopefully he doesn't knock what I'm doing.
The only move that would justify their actions against the Super Bowl QB would be to make him look irresponsible.
Jigga was on it.
At this event, he would utter the words that will be forever remembered in corporate politics.
I think we've passed kneeling. I think it's time to go into actionable items. Kneeling, I know we're stuck on it because it's a real thing, but it's a form of protest. I support protests across the board. We need to bring light to the issue. I think everyone knows what the issue is. You know what the issue is? You know why we were kneeling?
The entire event was top-tier level gaslighting and a classic example of fence-sitting displayed by Jay-Z, the one who claimed to be solely responsible for gaining Kaepernick the tryout he had asked for, a tryout destined to be filled with issues. Jay-Z had been known in the industry for attempting to hand out horrible deals.
I think at that time, Jay was definitely, may have been trying to swindle me.
Yeah. They would talk to me after on the side, like after every joke, you're like, and that man offered me $175.
Jay-Z tried to sign you. And you tried to sign you, your group offered you 12 points.
I didn't feel as though that the contract was right, so I didn't accept it.
Next would be textbook corporate schemes attempting to get Kaepernick to sign an NDA to terminate any chance of further legal action versus the NFL. At this point, Jay-Z was executing Law 31 effortlessly.
Couldn't let a client of mine sign that waiver. It can be interpreted in a way that you signed away your right to a second collusion lawsuit, to a lawsuit alleging that you were retaliated against because you filed the first lawsuit. Right. And that can be a very, very viable claim.
Colin's attempt to oppose anything coming from Roc Nation's side would fall on deaf ears.
I think Jay-Z knows that this was probably Colin Kaepernick's last best chance to actually make an NFL team, and
Colin Kaepernick. If you were his sports agent, Jay-Z is the sports agent for Colin Kaepernick, and before this all happened, he came to you and said, "I want to do this." Would you have said, "Do it, don't do it"? What would you have counseled the brother?
Oh, 100% do it.
Wow.
I mean, look how many people play football.
And how could you not trust Jay-Z? Remember, he once boycotted the NFL himself.
I said no to the Super Bowl. You need me, I don't need you.
Don't fool yourself. That's Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. He will become not only one of the richest rappers, but Black Americans ever. Also, the only person in the world who can call Sean Diddy Combs Sean.
And united we stand, and ain't nothing else. To us. Black excellence.
And Sean Combs will go through one of the worst nightmares a black wealthy mogul could go through, igniting a whirlwind that would get Jigga's name caught up too. But that wouldn't even be the biggest hurdle he had to jump. In 2024, Sean will be charged and imprisoned for sex trafficking, which would trigger endless pages of civil suits from former associates and employees. But there will be one case that rocked the Carter's world, temporarily questioning if an undisputed all-time run was finally coming to an end.
You should never let what somebody else did ruin or run your life.
Not from business, not from beef, but an accusation from decades in the past.
She asked us not to reveal her identity.
A woman stepped forward repeating accusations first raised in the 2023 civil filing claiming Jay-Z as well as Diddy assaulted her back in the 90s. She spoke of a story of though being a teen, she was ushered in a 3-hour drive from upstate New York to an industry party.
It's like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof druggle ball.
She swore it happened in front of Diddy. She even allegedly threw J-Lo in there.
She comes in and rapes me.
Represented by the top cap lawyer known to man, Tony Busby.
And told me to stop it, stop it.
Jay-Z's legal team responded instantly, calling the entire filing fiction, malicious, and part of a pattern designed to extort a wealthy public figure. The suit didn't lead to criminal charges. There was no arrest, no police investigation, nothing validated in a court of law. The straw that broke the camel's back was a recording that made it sound like the accuser was told to cap.
TMZ reporting that an affidavit filed yesterday allegedly reveals that the Jay-Z accuser told a private investigator that she fabricated the story under pressure from her lawyer.
This would lead to the case getting flat out dismissed, with the corporate cap surviving to see another scandal.
Turning now to the dismissed civil suit against Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs.
Speaking of paperwork, after being rejected by multiple courts in 2025, Ramirez Satterthwaite filed a new federal paternity lawsuit against Jay-Z, repeating the prior allegations and demanding a DNA test. The final nail in the coffin would come when a judge in California dismissed with prejudice, meaning the specific lawsuit cannot be refiled against Jay-Z, effectively ending the decade-long claim of being a deadbeat dad.
I want to let y'all know that I have not stopped my fight. You know, I did withdraw my case. It's for a reason, y'all. It's not because I'm stopping with it or not going to refile it or anything like that. It's just a lot going on behind closed doors.
It would seem to be the passing of a level 5 hurricane storm where somehow Hov would survive some dark days of cap. He wouldn't waste any time, possibly sprinkling a bit of his own.
And ain't nobody stand on that stage with me. I ain't gonna lie. No.
Stating no one on the planet will be able to stand on stage with him in a versus match.
Respect. Everyone's amazing and done what they done. No one can stand on that stage with me. I'm just telling you guys the real. Like, it's not a shot. There's not a chance in hell that anyone can stand on that stage with me for I don't know how long it is. 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours.
Right.
Whether you agree or not, Sean Carter will introduce the highest level of corporate cap the industry has seen thus far. He built who he was on top of what others built, becoming the human form of the 48th law of power, which is becoming formless. Everyone has a cap story, and this is Jay-Z's corporate cap of hip-hop. To watch this uncensored and raw, subscribe to my Patreon. Check out my cap story on Drake and my documentary on Max B. Well, anyways, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxie Approve, right?
with that water. I see you here next time on Moxie Approved.